Good day and welcome to another edition of Citizens Movement Radio News. Today is Tuesday, 16 December 2025. I am Lenton Mwanaga, ready to bring you the latest news and updates. Here are today's headlines on Citizens Movement Radio News. Mnangagwa endorsed Joe Pomona corruption scandal again. Opposition response to ZANU-PF claims that election caused instability. 4 days to go before Nkulumane by-election. Now let's delve into the detailed stories. ZANU-PF leader Emmerson Mnangagwa commissioned another section of the Joe Pomona West site in Harare yesterday. The Joe Pomona deal with the Harare City Council is mired in corruption and secrecy, with the critics saying the company is milking excessive amounts of money from the council. One of the senior officials in the opposition, Eric Gono, said that in a normal country, the president would call for investigations into the corruption allegations surrounding the tender. Let's hear more from Gono.
In a normal country, companies or organizations like Joe Pomona would be investigated. We'll be talking about a commission of inquiry looking into the operations of that organization. But in Zimbabwe, such companies with a dubious record and a dubious standing are being funded by the Republic's president. That's the level of corruption that we unfortunately breathe in our country. At a time when we expect government to lead in accountability, the government is leading in facilitating corruption, in facilitating swindling of the country's resources. It's very unfortunate. But what we are seeing today is what the people of Zimbabwe must start fighting against. And I'm happy that the people's president, Advocate Nelson Chamisa, came out guns blazing over the weekend, assuring the people of Zimbabwe that a new vehicle and a new strategy is being planned and ready for implementation to rescue the people of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is in desperation need of rescue from these clueless people that are leading our government.
ZANU-PF Politburo member and Minister of Justice, Ziyambi, addressed a party gathering recently where he called for term extension of both MPs and the president, saying it will bring stability in the country. One of the officials in the opposition, Stephen Sakozi Chuma, however, blasted Ziyambi and ZANU-PF for such proposals, which he said undermines democracy and violates the constitution. He said it is clear that ZANU-PF is afraid of elections. Let's hear more from Chuma.
Statements by Ziyambi that they wish to postpone elections, hiding on the grounds that the elections cause instability, are very unfortunate. But this does not surprise us at all. We know that ZANU-PF does not believe in the rule of law. They do not believe in constitutionalism, because the concern is very clear that after every 5 years we must go to elections. But when you hear a lawyer, a person like Ziyambi saying that they do not want elections because they cause instability, it's clear that they are afraid of elections. They know that Emmerson Mnangagwa is a serial loser when it comes to elections. They know that Emmerson Mnangagwa was humbled by Advocate Nelson Chamisa in 2018, and there was also a repeat again of a huge humbling at the hands of Advocate Nelson Chamisa in 2023, where Mnangagwa lost by a wide margin in a sham election, which was also condemned by SADC. So they do not want to have another humiliation in 2028. This is why they talk about 2030. This is why they hide that the elections cause instability. But we all know that the people who cause instability in this country, it is ZANU-PF. Because these are the people who are running down the economy. These are the people who are violating basic human rights. These are the people who are engaged in corrupt activities. So these are the people who are causing instability in this country, not elections. Elections provide a platform for democracy, for people to choose leaders of their choice, not to say elections cause instability. That's a lie. Then number three, the reason they also do not want elections is that this is a party that is afraid of citizens. They know that they've committed serious offenses against the citizens, and they know that when it comes to any election, be it a council election, a parliamentary election, or presidential election, they will lose by huge and embarrassing margin because the people do not want ZANU-PF anymore. So it's understandable when they say they do not want the elections, but it is upon the people of Zimbabwe to unite and demand that the constitution must be protected, not 2030 agenda.
It is only 4 days to go before the Nkulumane by-election set for December 20. 9 candidates are vying for the parliamentary seat following the death of Honorable Desire Moyo in a road accident in October. We spoke to one of the candidates, Rodney Jele, who gave an update how his campaign is going so far. He said,
igama lami nguRodney Donovan Jele, womunye wabancintisayo kukhetho olukhona ngeSaturday mhla ka-20 December 2025. Lokho siqhubeka ngohlelo lwethu lokukhampena, uhlelo lwethu lokuhamba sicela amavote ebantwini beNkulumane, kubahlali beNkulumane, kuma-voters eNkulumane. Sesizamile ama-programs amaningi ekade sivele siwayenza athi siphezu kwawo, agoqela ukuyenza ama-door to door, sisenza ama-campaigns, sisenza ama-mini rallies, sisenza ama-debates ku-hall, sisenza njalo futhi ama-meetings lama-squares ethu esilawo eNkulumane ongama-mini meetings. So yilo uhlela kade sizama ukuthi siliqhube ukuzama ukuthi sicele abantu beNkulumane besivotele mhla ka-20. I-program nje sesisele ukuthi siyenzeke nje i-road show lapho siyahamba sikhankasa sizama ukuthi sibone ukuthi abantu bayaphuma ngelanga langomgqibelo ukuthi bephume behambe ukuyavota and besivotele njenge-candidate, one of the candidates, an independent candidate eyabe izimele yodwa ekhethweni oluzayo ukhetho lweNkulumane. Ngiyabonga.
Opposition official in Mashonaland Central, Sam Gondongwe, has said individuals who benefited from the farm mechanization scheme during the term of Gideon Gono as Reserve Bank governor must pay back their loans. This comes after reports by state media that the government planned to undertake another farm mechanization program. Gondongwe said only ZANU-PF linked people have been benefiting from government funds in agriculture but without returns for the nation. The former Mount Pleasant Member of Parliament, Fadzai Mahere, has demanded answers from the Minister of Transport on why only ZANU-PF vehicles are allowed to move around without number plates. Posting on his social media platforms, Mahere said ordinary citizens face arrest for moving around with vehicles without plates, while ZANU-PF members go scot-free. She said there is clear selective application of law which favors members of the ruling party. As the country approaches the festive season, civil servants have expressed disappointment over poor salaries and bonuses. Trade unionist Munyaradzi Masiwa said civil servants are struggling to make ends meet because of poor remuneration from the government. He said it is concerning that the government splashes millions of luxury vehicles for individuals when civil servants are underpaid. Masiwa said,
"Actually, there is no bonus to talk about. So normally we call what is called bonus is something which comes as an addition to your salary, as a thank you for working for an institution for 12 years. So we cannot talk about bonus when we are not being paid per se. With the money that we get as salary on monthly basis is not worth, it doesn't qualify to be called a salary. So in this regard, we cannot say we are getting a bonus. For clarity's sake, civil servants were getting 540, that is in 2018, before the new dispensation came into equation. So from there, when our money was stolen by Mutuli Ngcuke, we never got a salary. What we got was just a token, and it doesn't qualify to be called a salary. Our money was stolen. To tell you, today, if you add up the money that we are getting on monthly basis and the money that is being named bonus to civil servant, it doesn't add up to 540 USD only 1 month. So this is just some token that comes during this festive season, and it simply means families of civil servants are not going to join other families in functions. Families of civil servants are not going to enjoy this festive season. They are just going to sit back and wail in poverty. They are just go around with the forms looking to add up the borrowings, because civil servants are already wailing in borrowings. They are not even qualifying to get some loans from these loan sharks. So we are in a very difficult circumstances. We are just worried, and we wonder at the rate at which government officials dishes out resources around, dishes out cars and money in the street like nobody's business. This is worrisome. This shows us that it is only the attitude of the government of the day not to pay civil servants salaries that are enough. When you read through the newspapers, when you listen to Mthuli Nciwe's budget, you hear a lot about reserves that have got a lot of money. But we don't know why are they not taking consideration to pay civil servants enough salaries, or to pay civil servants living wages. We are quite worried, and will continue mobilizing members of the civil servants to consider taking steps to consider confronting this state so that they consider our issues.
At least 80 people have been killed in a series of violent attacks linked to one suspect in Guruve, Mashonaland Central Province. The latest incident occurred on December 11 at Plot 9 on a farm, where the suspect, Enemo Ritsa, allegedly murdered 5 members of the same family, while 5 other children sleeping in a separate room survived. Police say the suspect is also connected to an earlier attack in Zimuna village under Chief Bepura, in which 3 members of the Chipangura family were killed. The Zimbabwe Republic Police has launched an intensive manhunt involving drones, support units, detective, canine teams, and horse patrols in surrounding areas. Still in Guruve, police with the aid of the army arrested a group of men who are said to be a part of a gang that has been terrorizing citizens through killings, rape, and thefts. So far, 6 members of the gang are under arrest after being ambushed at their hideout in the Nyatsanga mountain in Guruve Mashonaland Central. Our Citizen Movement Radio News reporter Loveness Kotora gives us the latest updates on these developments in Guruve.
For the past month, well, let's say since November, there have been some killings in Guruve, which started in a village called Mpinyuri village, where they got into a house and stabbed a 5-year-old child 5 times while they locked the mother in her bedroom so that she could not come and help her child. Luckily, the mother managed to break the door and came to save her child. They were not killed. But from there, those people, they were just moving around, raping vulnerable women in the rivers, bus stops, anywhere, getting inside the houses, raping and killing. So yesterday, they killed a family of 7. They killed 5 people in a family of 7 and left out 2 children. Those children were in another room. That's how they were left out. One is 7 years, the other one is 9 years. What a sad story. And in Nyakapupu, they also killed another family. A lot of people have been killed and raped. So they were suspecting the people from the mines, those miners who were once called the Shurugwis. We know that the Shurugwis were once being found in Kwekwe, Kadoma, Karoi, and Shinoi. But now, those Shurugwis were suspected to be the ones who were doing the killings and the rapings in Guruwe. So after this killing for yesterday, that family, the police and the army sent out a search party to look for those criminals. So as they were searching, they found 6 of them hiding in a mountain. That mountain is called Nyatsanga Mountain. 6 of them were hiding in that mountain. This is the most beautiful thing that the police and the army is done in Zimbabwe, especially in Guruwe. Finding a way of helping the citizens in such a difficult moment. They sent out a search party to catch some criminals, to help people, so that the people cannot continue to get killed and raped. People were now scared. They are even scared even now. So they did a beautiful thing by sending a search party, and they caught those criminals. They caught those criminals, 6 of them. We just hope that there are no more criminals. If there are more criminals who are left out, we hope that they are going to be caught as well, so that Guruwe will be free, Zimbabwe will be free from such kind of criminals. We can't be living in fear just because there are people who can come and kill, especially the whole family. How can a whole family die and being closed down just like that? This is such a big thing, a very bad and big thing, an issue which needed to be solved. So this is it. The criminals have been caught. We hope not to hear anything like that again. Reporting for Citizens Movement Radio, this is Loveness Gotora.
Harare Mayor Jacob Mafume is in the eye of storm following his statements yesterday, praise singing Emerson Mnangagwa and the commissioning of Geopomona Waste Management Plant. Mafume, who is a colleague of sellout Sengezo Shabangu, has been hero-worshipping Mnangagwa since the time he was found guilty of corruption by an independent commission that was set up to investigate Harare City Council operations. Critics say Mafume bootlinks Mnangagwa in order to avoid prosecution. Villagers in Mutogo South in Ward 26 say a ZANU-PF councillor Brighton Muvirimi is taking away their agricultural land, converting it into residential and shop stands. One of the villagers who spoke to Citizens Movement Radio on the condition of anonymity said Councillor Muvirimi is targeting farming land belonging to the elderly and the widows. At least 5 artisanal miners died yesterday following a mine collapse at Alicia Mine near Pixton Mine in Chegutu. Several other miners are believed to be trapped underground as rescue operations continue. Sources said the miners were working in a shaft that caved in, leading to the collapse. The 5 bodies have been retrieved, while efforts to locate others are going. Let's take a look at our sports news. There are only 5 days left before Africa's biggest soccer showpiece, AFCON kick-off in Morocco. Local and South Africa-based players have jetted to the North African country today to acclimatize ahead of the tournament. Zimbabwe kicks off their campaign against Egypt on 22 December. Meanwhile, Warriors coach Mario Marinica said the target is to go beyond group stages. In an English Premier League match played last night, Manchester United were held at home to a 4-4 draw by Bournemouth at Old Trafford. Manchester United got their goals from Amadi Diallo, Casemiro, Matthias Cunha and Bruno Fernandes, where Bournemouth replied through Antoine Semenyo, Evan Nilsson, James Tavernier and Junior Kropi. The results left United on 6th position, where Bournemouth are 13th on the log. To conclude our citizens movement radio news, here are the headlines once more. Mnangagwa endorses Geopomona corruption scandal again. Opposition response to ZANU-PF claims that elections cause instability. 4 days to go before Nkulumane by-election. That's all for tonight's news bulletin. Thank you for listening to CMR. Join us tomorrow for more news and updates. Until then, good night and stay informed.